Welcome to the Felix House. Martha and Richard Ross, who just joined us, have kindly opened up their home to myself and to the Long Beach Public Library and the community through my program, which is Long Beach Memories. And we did get a chance a little bit earlier to chat about my program. And basically, we are dealing with now the individuals of the community who have brought history and have preserved history. So Martha and Richard Ross bought the home at 151 West Penn Street in about 1991. And they named the home after its first owner, Pauline Felix. Now, as you know, Senator Reynolds formed the Estates of Long Beach back in 1908. The homes that he wanted to be built had specification qualifications. He wanted them on multiple lots of property. He didn't want them to be close together. He wanted the red tile roofs. He wanted a stucco facade. And he wanted them to resemble the villas of the Mediterranean. And he does this throughout the whole center of town, closer to the beach. So when you're looking at Marty and Richard Ross's house, you will see that they're in the area of Long Beach, which is trying to be preserved. And we're going to talk about that in a 2 seconds. So we're at their door at 151 West Penn Street, and we're welcoming into this home. Meet Martha and Richard Ross. Their home has been a labor of love, preservation of Long Beach history, and this Felix house was built in about 1909.
Hello, everyone.
Now, this photograph is so important because you could see there's no streets, there's no grass. All you can see is sand because we are basically a creation on a barrier island, which was all sand. And of course, part of it was in the marsh. And of course, lots of Long Beach had no land and it was all filled in because he did a lot of dredging and it took quite a while from about 1908 to probably down all the way to 14 to finish. And so what you're seeing though, if you can see in the very dear distance, you'll see a water tower. That's actually the water tower for the locomotives. And the original railroad station was more towards what we call now present day, kind of like Broadway, because Broadway didn't exist yet. And I'm guessing because of the proximity of the water tower, this is very close to Penn Street. And it's very close to National Boulevard looking, that way, because that's where the railroad station approximately was. Of course, streets and things, and it was not exactly there yet because the plans of the streets weren't exactly laid out yet. But they started building the homes. And this is basically, if you look on the left, this is very similar to Marty's house. Now, maybe Marty's house wasn't built yet, but this is the Long Beach. This is how when Long Beach first started. Thank you, Marty, for providing me this card. I went through 400 and something postcards from my neighbor, Doug Scher, because he provided me with all those digitized versions of the postcards, and this one was not among them. So thank you. This is a collector's item because even he didn't have it. This is actually number 11. This is, they call this a cottage, which I find funny because a home with a maid's entrance and quarters and multiple bedrooms and balconies and big properties doesn't remind me of a cottage. When I think of a cottage, I think of something very small. So, but this is the idea of a cottage number 11, and it says Long Beach, Long Island, the Estates of Long Beach, which of course is Senator Reynolds' company.
Eileen, I have to thank your brother for that picture. Joe found it online.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks, Uncle Joe.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
So where did you find all this house for number 11? I'm just so curious. Where was it in the house?
It was on the French doors in the dining room when I was stripping down all the wood in the dining room. I found it underneath the paint. That's
so amazing.
Yes, it really was.
That's like a discovery, it's like you're going on a dig in your house.
Exactly.
Eileen, we were looking for gold, but that's the only thing we found.
Oh, but you know what? The gold that you found is your home. And
That's it?
your home is so beautiful, and everybody's going to get to see that. The beauty of your home and what you have made from the home itself when it was in very poor condition. I remember when you showed me pictures of it when I first met you guys, and I was just like floored at the condition of the house when you bought it. And it wasn't cheap. So it says right on here, all this for house number 11. So this is the 11th house built on the Barrier Island. This is so cool. Now, we're in 1914. This map is part of, not the entire map, but the very small part of the map, which you can see here. It says Miss Pauline Felix, where this number 2 is. This is actually showing us that Pauline Felix is on the map, that she owns this property or this house. So this designation is very cool. You also see what I said, National Boulevard. Here's the Hotel Nassau, which actually now is the condominium on National that was converted. And basically the boardwalk is right about in the front of the Nassau. So that other first picture, to the east of this would be where that water tower is. So it's very close proximity. I thought that would be Penn Street. So this is beautiful because it designates Miss Pauline Felix as the first person on this map when Long Beach is being built.
Yeah.
Now, what do we do to support that she actually was here and that she lived here? Well, New York Times in July of 8th, 1911, and then again in Brooklyn Eagle, same date, there is a court case going on between Reynolds, which was not the city back then because we were a village, and the Nassau Hotel, which Senator Reynolds actually owned the company that owned the Hotel Nassau. The Hotel Nassau opened up in around 1910, approximate. So it says it right on the article that Felix said these tennis grounds had been used by my wife since 1909. And Louis Felix was a lawyer. He made the statement that Pauline Felix was his wife. Now, interesting enough, when we get on with the program, you're going to see the little twists and turns of Pauline Felix and also Louis Felix. So they think, or he thought, that Senator Reynolds was really like ticked off with him because he won a suit against him. And basically he thought this was like, like a retribution, like, let's not let them use the tennis courts. And they went to court for this. Can you imagine? They went to court so that they could continue playing tennis at the Nassau Hotel, which was a, private hotel, of course, ownership. And they just lived down the road a piece and they were playing tennis there. So yes, at some point they had been, and then they were told they were not allowed. Now, who is Pauline Felix? Her family came from Germany. Her father, her mother, many siblings. Of course, she had, I think, 8 or so. You have Sarah, Eva, Florence, Joseph, Estelle, Louis, and Eugenia. Now, interesting enough, on the census, I couldn't put them all in here, but I try to, pack them in. The 1900, they were all in sales. They were merchants. Now, Pauline Felix herself was a milliner. Her sister Flo, she called her Florence, Flora. She says that she's at home in 1910, but when we go down the road with the censuses, you will see that they were both milliners. And now, back then, a milliner was a person who made hats and clothing. Now, their father was in the clothing business. Louis, on the census, was a lawyer. Now, interesting enough, I had to pull the 1915 Saints Census because this goes right after you see the 1914 map. Now you go to the 1915 census. And when you go to the 1915 census, you see something very extraordinary. You see the Felix family here. That's Joseph is the brother. Then you see Pauline, who's the person who owns the house, but he's head of household. And you see here, they live on Penn Street in Long Beach. Now it doesn't say Long Beach at the top because back then, this was still under the village of Long Beach, but it's town of Hempstead. We are not town of Hempstead anymore. We're Nassau County, in Nassau County, city of Long Beach. And if you go down a little bit further, you see Lewis is her brother, not her husband. But I guess they needed to finagle that he's the lawyer, this is my wife, and we always played here. Why can't we play? If you go down one more line, there's not a new head of household, but a different name. This person's name is Harry Sofian. Then there's Jane, his sister, and then her other sister, her niece, and 2 servants. So they were quite well off. They were all living on the house at 151 West Penn Street. And what's really good, just remember the name Sofian, because this adds a little bit of flavor to my research. Here we see Louis Felix was actually a lawyer for the village council. He worked for the city. He was counsel for the city, which was not a city back then, of course. It was, again, a village. But extraordinary, because it tells you in this day and age, and this time, that they were still living here. And Pauline Felix was a gutsy lady, because they're telling everybody that basically accusing her brother Louis that he did something wrong, that he did something with graft and all of this stuff. And she's shaking her finger in this lady's face, and she says, "You lie when you say that about my brother." So it's so interesting that there's this bit of court battle, and all the women are in the mix. This is Pauline Felix at the bottom right. This is her passport. Who would ever think I could find a picture of Pauline Felix? And here it is. It's on her passport application. This is dated 1917. It's her brother's card right to the left of it. It says Louis Felix, counselor at law. And if you read in the very small print in here, it says she lives in Long Beach. So this is now 1917. So it's documenting. Who signs the paper? Louis Felix. And it is certified. You see it right here. Now, why would she be going overseas? I'm going to tell you why. Because she was a milliner, and she was doing business, and she was trying to go, I think at this point, she was going to France. She worked for a company called Hickson and Company, which actually went out of business in approximately 1920. But the company was around from 1902. Now, Miss Carrie Hickson Kennedy lived from 1862 to 1915. Here's your sideline. What a story. She worked for Hickson and Company. Her letter here told me so, because that's why she applied for her passport to go to Europe, because in 1917, she was going for purchasing and for models for their company. Interesting enough, and very sadly enough, Carrie and her sister were traveling to France as well in 1915, and they were both on the Lusitania. When their company closed at that time in 1920, it was worth over almost $126,000. I don't even know how much that's worth today, but they closed. But this is the company Hickson that she worked for. Do you remember I said, remember the name Sofian? They were living in the same house at 151 West Penn Street. The Felix family moves to Kansas from New York, along with the Sofian family. Why? Because the 2 sisters who are her sisters both marry Harry Sofian and Abraham Sofian. They married 2 sisters to 2 brothers. Now, he was a real estate developer in New York, and he came to Kansas and built the building that you see to the right is an apartment building. And basically, when their families came from New York, everybody lived in this building. So now they have already moved from Long Beach, they've moved to Kansas. I'm up to 1930. It says that they're still living in Kansas City. They're both milliners. They're both doing clothing. They own the business. And then in about 1940, they moved back to New York. Now, what's interesting about the 1940 census, they're guests. They're not living at a home at this point. They're staying at a hotel. Now, the Weiland Hotel is on Madison and 54. So they were still designers. They were in millinery. They're together. Her and her sister lived together their whole lives. And basically, Pauline Felix, I found her death record is dying in 1962, and her sister Flora predeceased her in 1952. So the person who owned the house in Long Beach came from a very fine family. They had very wealthy and basically did very well for two single women in that time. They were owners of their own business. They traveled greatly back and forth across the world. I've seen many passenger crossings, and it's like fascinating that she had such a life when women back then didn't really have that opportunity. Now we come to the Long Beach Red Brick District, which again is still there. Thank God, because Landmark has created this and petitioned to have it preserved. Otherwise, like the rest of Long Beach, this would have been ripped up or blacktopped, and you would not have this today. And preserving this has made, it's a bumpy ride, of course, but it has made Long Beach, this little area, it preserves us back to when Long Beach first started. Now, we do realize they used brick back then because we didn't have a sewer system yet. I'm assuming that this is for drainage. Am I right, Joe? So basically, you see in between the current houses, you'll see the mansions on
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so this is designated as of 1909. The landmarks had this petition to the city to make this a landmark. This is a beautiful keeping photo, because here, this sewer cap here, they actually put in the sewers, and this says 1909. Now we have a copy of the sign that designates the Red Brick Historic District, and it's at National Boulevard, and it runs all the way down past Magnolia, and it's beautiful. There is one little section too, if you want to walk to the boardwalk by Edwards, which used to be Jackson Boulevard, where the rides used to be. There's a very small section there that they have not blacktop, and it's been like that since I was a kid. Okay, Marty and Richard, look at this house, 151 West Penn Street.
Yes, it was.
Oh my goodness.
That's what Joe sold us.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Believe it or not, it was love at first sight, honest to God.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it was.
That's incredible. Like, wow. So you go looking to buy a home, and he shows you this house, and you're like, we'll take it. And I'm sure he showed you other homes that probably were not in this condition, but there was just something. What was it about the house that you fell in love with?
It just met all my criteria, all my dreams. I wanted something that was old, original, not touched, no renovations, nothing was done. It was just kept, as you can see, the way it was when it was built.
Yeah.
But that gave me a great foundation to start working on.
Right. And this, of course, is the left side of your porch, right?
Yes. That had to be all redone.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it needed massive renovation on in the exterior. And of course, in the interior, when we get there, of course, the photos that you have given me don't even show the damage that was inside the house. And I'm sorry that you lost those pictures.
I know.
Because no one would believe the damage that was in your house. It was like, and you look at it today, and you're like, no way, there's no way that could be the same house. You get to see the different sides of the home. And I mean, seriously enough, something that was built in 1909, the stucco is in pretty good condition.
Yes, it is.
It just goes to show you, they don't make anything like they used to.
No way.
This is like incredible. This is another shot looking west. And the roof looks pretty good too.
That it does.
Now you have already looked like you moved into the house, and I see little remnants of like you fixing, and you could see your little furniture on your porch. So this is the start of Marty and Richard doing their dream, their work. And
Yep.
so this is just the pre of 151 West Penn. This is not the finished mark, but this is the pre. And it's incredible when you go through this, what you're going to see. So how long did it take you to take all the wallpaper off the walls?
Oh, goodness. We did it room by room. And the paper in some rooms was very easy to come off. Other rooms you couldn't. It was painted over.
Mm-hmm.
But I worked with my girlfriend's husband, who was a plasterer by trade. And
Right.
he showed me how, after we got the paper off, how to open all the cracks.
Right.
So he could follow through with his little mixture of his plaster and
Right.
joint compound.
Right.
So it was just room by room and step by step, a ceiling at a time,
Yeah.
wood at a time.
Yeah, I
And
know the
then-
wood was all painted too, right? You had to strip the wood
Yes,
too.
not in the living room downstairs, but the dining room was all painted completely beige.
And how about the floors? The floors were painted also?
Not in the living room and the
Okay.
dining room, no. But at one time you could see they were, because the saddles were still red and it was remaining red on the floors.
Uh-huh.
And some places you can see it on the steps going upstairs. We got that all off, but in some places I left one saddle going into the bar room red. Not that it looks all that good, but it's the original, and it's nice to be able to point that out to people.
Right. But you see here, you're plastering and like all the paper's off. So this is a work in progress.
Yes.
It's, I just like, look at this. You see the stained glass, you see the cracks, you could see the wood left. I mean, this house was basically destroyed inside.
Yes, that's a baby hole of wood left.
I'm sure.
One of the bedrooms, almost the entire wall between the bedrooms had nothing but wood left.
Right. And now we're starting to see progress.
Mhm.
The banister's beautiful. I mean, the walls, everything is coming together, but we're still got a lot to go. There you are,
There I am,
taking off the
the wallpaper and cleaning it
Wallpaper.
up.
So this looks like Halloween. I see a pumpkin.
Yep.
That is so funny. And now, wow, look at your staircase.
Yep, there it is today.
What a difference. And we're still got more to go.
Oh, yes.
How beautiful. There's another beautiful shot. It's incredible what you could do when you love something so much.
Right, and you can see we still didn't finish putting stain on the wood that was previously stripped, but we got
Right.
that all done too, and up on top.
Here's another picture of a pre.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fireplace. It's beautiful. And yes, I mean, this is extraordinary. Like you walk in and you're like, like today, when you walk in, you would never know this is the same house.
No.
Look, same fireplace, but still work in progress.
Yep.
This is the porch looking outside. This is the porch to the left. This is so nice. I had the one with the doggy in it, but I thought it might be too hurtful to show the little doggy because he's not with you anymore.
Right.
And this is the other side.
Where that rug is, there was just a hole that went downstairs into the sand pit. So you can imagine all the sorts of creatures and stuff that were living in that sand pit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's now the right side. And again, I mean, this is incredible.
That table was built by my handyman.
Really?
When he was up, yeah, when he was upstairs in the attic, he found these boards, and they were the actual shutters that they used to board up the house when they were leaving it for the
Oh,
winter.
that's
So
so cool.
everything, you know, at the bottom of the table, if you want to get underneath and look, you can see it writes down second floor east window, second floor west window. Very
Oh.
interesting. So I needed to save that and do something with it.
Oh, absolutely. That's very cool
Yeah.
that he did that.
Hey, Joe,
Again-
even in the attic, I was looking for the gold. You said, keep looking in the corners.
We even looked in the newel post.
This is like so cool. I mean, there's the stained glass that you moved and hung there. That's great.
Uh-huh.
It's, you know, preservation, and you see the floors. It's incredible.
The floors are beautiful.
Yes, I love it. Look at the wood, how they did such work back then.
You just think that was all painted beige, even
I
the
can't-
tile around the fireplace.
I can't believe they would do something so terrible.
It took me almost 2 years to strip it down. I worked in little increments at a time, because I had my grandchildren to babysit for and things, but it got done.
Yep, amazing. There, is that
There's
beautiful?
the fireplace.
Yeah, looks so different. Very incredible. And now you have beautiful wallpaper, all your wood is done. I mean, it's amazing. Oh my God, here we go again with the stripping, and
Yep, that
I
was
could
the
see you
kitchen.
doing this.
There was no kitchen in the house. That was the kitchen,
Was the kitchen.
right? And that doorway there, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but that doorway in the back goes up the stairs. It was the maid's staircase.
Right, which back then, of course, as you saw on the census for the Felixes, they had two servants.
Yes,
They had two servants living in the house. That's
Mhm.
and a huge house, because look how many people live there.
I know.
A lot. This is beautiful. I like your clock.
Thank you.
So this is like another shot looking towards the front. One bathroom.
Yeah, that
Wow,
bathroom.
that sink is like from probably like the 50s. I don't know if that's from the 20s, but it could be.
We still have it. We moved it into a bathroom and it's there.
It's so funny because I remember these type of you know, the way the nozzles are on here.
Yeah,
So cool. And of course, current.
yeah,
It's beautiful. And we're getting there. Look at the progress in this house.
yeah.
I see
that's
all
the
the strips.
dining room.
Yep, see all the strips here. It's amazing. I don't know how you did all that.
And you can see where pieces of the flooring was missing. Because when Joe showed me the house, there was a mattress on the floor and it was catching water from the last bathroom that you saw.
Oh,
That was all gutted and so I don't know where the heck the water was dripping from, but anyhow, it's done.
yes. See, you could see the floors here. Here, it's stripped, and you could see all the work. It's like amazing.
Yeah,
You did some job. You and Rich. Oh my God.
you know.
Good
but
Lord.
It was a dream come true. It really was.
Wait, we're getting there. This is the fireplace. Look at this. This is like incredible. You can't think this is the same house inside.
That paper on the wall was actually foil. Oh, what a job.
Hmm. This is going into your kitchen, right?
Yes.
Right. Here's another shot of your dining room. Beautiful stained glass. The doors, everything is now, look, it's all shellac. It's pretty.
Mhm.
Look how beautiful.
Hey, Joe, years ago, didn't they have Long Beach money?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, for a
I
short time.
keep looking
Yes.
for it. I keep looking.
It's probably online somewhere. Somebody has to have it because they had the bank. They had the Bank of Long Beach.
Right.
Beautiful piano. And bedroom. Beautiful. This looks like a wedding dress, Marty. Whose
That's
wedding
what
dress?
it is.
Wow. And I love the baby carriage. That's so cool.
Yep, that belonged to my sister. Her grandmother-in-law owned that.
And the crib is wood also. Look at this.
Yep, the crib we got when the baby started coming. So this way I had a safe place for them to sleep too.
That's so nice.
Talk about large families living in a house.
Right.
Even though they didn't live here, they stayed here an awful lot, and they still do.
How many children?
I had 5 daughters, and Jennifer is deceased.
I'm
And
sorry.
I have 12 grandchildren, 6 boys,
Wow.
6 girls.
Wow.
Yeah, so you know it's a busy place.
It's a busy place, but a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And you'll hear when you hear me in my video what I say about it. It's so funny.
Uh-huh.
Look at this. I love this.
It is absolutely gorgeous. Yes.
Yep.
May I?
Yes, of course. Lewis, absolutely.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I wonder if you enlisted the help of a professional interior decorator. Was this all your own conception? It's absolutely magnificent. I just was wondering whether you had like a professional come in and make suggestions, or whether this was all your own idea.
This, I have to say, is all my own idea.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
That's why when you looked at that house outside and it was like falling apart,
I
this
saw,
is what you envisioned.
absolutely. That's the way I saw it, and I knew it could happen.
And it did.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible.
This is looking into the kitchen that she built. There was no kitchen. I just love the woodwork, that how much work and labor to take all that stuff off and to make it look so, it's like amazing.
Right?
And also, I'd like to ask, whom did you find to do all this specialized work? Did you have to go through the yellow pages, or was it friends of yours? Who did all the craftsmanship?
It was my girlfriend's husband that I went to high school with. He was the plasterer, and he did the work, and the rest my husband and I did.
Yes.
My son-in-laws, my future son-in-laws, I recruited them to help on the weekend and get the kitchen cabinets in, because they're architects and engineers, so that always comes in handy.
Yes.
And her husband had to work full time still.
Yeah.
And Marty, this part of the kitchen, where did this come from? This is magnificent.
Now, there was up in North Baldwin, way long time ago, going back into the 60s and probably even before that, there was a big restaurant up on a hill called the Wayside Manor. And it was past the Baldwin Post Office on Grand Avenue,
Mhm.
going east of that. And anyhow, the restaurant met its demise, like a lot of things sadly do. And they made a new development there. And one of the women that my sister worked with at the school said that she had a mantle. And she didn't want it anymore. And my sister just kept after me. And finally one day when she said, I got the pickup truck, let's go get that mantle. And I said, you need a pickup truck for it? And she said, yes. So boy, that piqued my interest. And we hopped in the car and we brought it home.
That's
Well,
incredible.
Yep. So we really don't know where it exactly came from. Could it have been part of the restaurant? Maybe. Richie likes telling everybody it's from the Carousel Nunley's, which of course not.
But it's very, very, the design is kind of very cool though.
Yeah. Some people think maybe a ship, who knows? It's always, hey, it's conversation.
Absolutely. But it's amazing. It does give it makes your kitchen a little, since there's nothing left from the kitchen, except for the stained glass, it makes your kitchen, brings it into that past a little bit,
Right. The stained glass I bought on eBay to hang on those windows.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And of course, the bar,
The famous bar.
Yes.
I love the register. Because
Yes.
it brings me back to my store days, and my mom had these old registers where you pushed it. It was like 1 cent, 2 cents, 5 cents, and nothing was electric. It was all manual.
Uh-huh.
So it reminds me of our old cash registers.
Exactly.
Was
So-
that bar Was that cash register there originally, or did you have it?
No, it was something that we owned. I was into collecting antiques from the 70s.
Ah,
So anytime I saw anything and it just looked like something that I liked, I'd pick it up.
oh, you
Like
have,
the Pabst Blue Ribbon Men in the background. They rock back and forth and the train moves. It's just fantastic.
That's very nice.
Yeah,
And what's the story with the fan, Joe?
yes.
Can't remember. I gave Marty the fan. I don't know where the fan is in the picture.
It's right
not
here.
the picture now. It's over maybe a little more towards the
Yeah.
windows, but it's there. So you can see the picture of Jack Dempsey and his daughter in
Yes.
the background.
That's from Jack Dempsey, that fan. I gave it to Marty and it's amazing. So I said, chill, it had to go with the house.
Yep, and it sits right on the bar.
It sits right on the bar.
Yep,
There it is.
there it is,
There you
right
go.
there.
And it still works.
It's General Electric.
Yep.
It's all metal. Look at that.
All
Isn't it
brass.
something?
That's amazing.
Yeah, Eileen, that was Jack Dempsey's fan.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
see him in the back there with his little girl. That's all, it looks like it's on the beach.
Yes, it does. It's on the beach.
That's so cool. Yeah, he actually was down here a lot. He did a lot for the orphans, and he contributed a lot to for the kids,
Yes, he
especially
did.
during the summers.
Well, you can see all the kids in the background.
Yeah, he did Orphans Day. He did many times. He did a lot.
Mhm.
There's another great shot of your house.
Right.
Pre now.
Mm-hmm.
There's Joe.
There he
Oh.
is.
So Marty
Joe.
and Richard Ross were looking for a home that was from the 20s era or earlier, but wound up buying the 11th home that was built on Long Beach in 1909. My brother Joseph Ponte, realtor, showed them this house, and it was love at first sight.
That's the one. Yes.
Now we're going to 2005. And of course, not only is the Red Brick Street part of the National Register of Historic Places, but it's acknowledged by the United States of America that the Felix House at 151 West Penn Street has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places. So this is like so amazing. How did this come about, Marty?
I had the house landmarked by the city of Long Beach in 2005. And then I got in touch with the parks, at the parks office, and I spoke with this girl, and she sent me paperwork to fill out to put the house on the National Registry. So it brought me right back to high school. You know, you did your research, you wrote everything, you had documentation for the things,
Right.
and it was accepted.
Yeah, I know
Not
it's a
only-
very long application because I've looked at it.
Right, not only on the National Register, but it's also on the New York State Register.
That is true.
So it's nice. Yeah,
It's beautiful. And here it is, the New York State Office of Parks and Recreation and Historic Preservation is the Pauline Felix House back in 2004. And of course, the current, which was the 2005. Here's your plaque that's on your home. It's beautiful. Couldn't get a straight shot of it, but there it is. It's really nice. This is like so incredible. Okay, we're in about 2009 now, Joe?
No, I think before that.
Well, the flags tell me not. I think it's the
I'm not
209
sure.
celebration. Wait, let's go.
Well,
You see
meanwhile,
the-
I thought right there, the house looked absolutely beautiful, believe it or not. I had,
You know what? Considering that the condition of the home when you got it, this is a very big upgrade. But
Right.
we're gonna go even further. This is a great shot. I have this in the local history collection. This is
oh,
Penn
that's
Street.
great.
This is Penn Street, and you can see the homes, and you could see that there's still a lot of sand here, because this is an undeveloped part of, on this side at least. It's incredible. They had a parade down Penn Street, and I think you guys had a parade too. And this
Yes, they
tells us that
did.
we had a parade. The historic
Yes.
Red Brick District Parade and Festival, which is celebrating 100th anniversary of the Red Brick District. This was June 7th of 2009. I actually was there too. Uncle
Uh-huh.
Joseph was there. Everybody that I remember, they went to this. It was incredible.
Yeah,
And there it is. Look at that. It's on the front of the paper. The historic district celebrates 100th anniversary. And there's Marty. And oh, look who it is. It's Joe.
right. Uh,
Now, interesting enough, this gentleman who played Teddy Roosevelt at that parade that day,
yes,
he just passed away in May.
I know, sadly, young too, very
Yeah.
sad.
I mean, I remember him. He's so cool. Out in Oyster Bay, where he's from,
Uh-huh.
he's made historical comeback of FDR. I mean, I'm sorry, Teddy Roosevelt. He was acknowledged by all the historical societies out there. They really did a great, this is from the Herald, from his obituary. And this is so well said, so I just had to quote it. Roosevelt laid to rest again, reenactor James Foote's death. He was beloved by Oyster Bay and the surrounding villages of betrayal of President Theodore Roosevelt. He passed away May 4th. So this is from Long Beach Herald. The photograph, of course, is yours. Thank you for sharing. This is like, that's why I think that the picture with the flags is from this. I think we went on this horse ride, my sisters and I, we
Yes,
went on this.
we had the horse and carriage
Yes.
ride around the holidays.
That was so cool. Now, before and after. Wow. So, what do
Wow.
they say? You turn an elephant's ear into a silk purse?
That's
it is.
right.
There it is. That's incredible. Look
Wow.
at your work.
Wow. Amazing. Just amazing.
Close up of the entrance.
Oh my God. Wow.
Where did the female sculptures come from?
My
Beautiful.
neighbors, one house away, east of me, are in the antique business. They were antique dealers. I was up in my room making my bed one day and I'm watching them unload the van and I'm like, what the heck? They have a ladder and they're putting something on a ladder and they're carrying it up the driveway. And I said, oh, I'll go see later. Well, lo and behold, it was these two beautiful ladies.
That's incredible. What a beautiful
Oh.
gift, right?
Oh, a gift? No, I bought them.
I know, but that's still, they had you in mind though, right?
I really don't know, but I said, I really think I need them. I need them. And I called Richie at work and I said, Richie, I need them.
Do I dare ask if you offer tours to the public?
Well, we used to prior to the COVID. But now we kind of want to wait and see how things go with that.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to get in on one.
Okay.
That's, my God.
This is like the other side of the grounds, which I love this shot because I love the fountain and I love, what's interesting, wrought iron is like passe. Everybody puts up vinyl fencing. I'm like, you could see vinyl on the other side of your division of your property. Everywhere around me is vinyl. It's crazy. I had, in my home, we had wrought iron and I replaced it with stainless, which they won't do anymore because it's so utterly expensive.
Right.
I hate vinyl. It's like, why would you put plastic all over your house? This is like wrought iron in your front. When you walk up your steps, it's beautiful. The wrought iron in the background, you see it's fenced, the division in the back. I
Yeah.
mean, this is the beauty, the small little intricacies of the house, how beautiful it is.
And Joe and Eileen, you know where that fountain came from.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
And Joe, you found the head of it in the money bag. No money, but just the head.
No gold. Rich,
No,
no
no
gold.
No gold.
But your house is gold.
Yes,
And,
it is. Yes,
it-
it is.
And I see the wrought iron gates back here.
Uh-huh.
I think those are from my grandfather's too.
They are. And you can see we enclosed the porch in the winter, which really helped keep the heat in the house.
Yeah.
And also on sunny days, you can stay out there. So it gives me an extra room in the winter.
That's beautiful. Look at, this is the other side of the house. This is nice. Look at that shot.
Yep, we built this ramp for my daughter Jennifer, and took a lot of thought because I didn't want it to look like, one of the ramps that you can buy. It had to blend with the house. So
It actually blends with the house beautifully. And
Yes.
I'm sorry about your daughter.
thank you. And the shed in the back, Richie and my husband built.
That's so cool too.
Myself and Richie. And one day I was looking at it from across the street and I said, oh goodness, I don't like the way that looks. So I had my contractor do the terracotta roof on it. And we
And it
painted it.
matches,
Wow.
matches
had those-
perfect.
And I had those windows with the diamonds in them for at least 50 years.
Wow.
I found them in the garbage in Baldwin when I lived in Oceanside. And I carried them with me wherever I went. They came with me.
Well, now they're in a nice, beautiful, and it looks like it belongs there. It's not like
Yep.
something you just built.
Exactly.
That is so cool. So this is actually a video, everybody. So I'm going to start the recording so you could look inside. Long Beach Memories program, June 7th at 2 p.m. 151 West Penn Street. The Felix House. The red brick. I had a beautiful morning doing this. I could hear all the birds. There you are.
Good morning. This is
There we
Eileen
are.
from the Long Beach Public Library. I am at the house of Richard and Martha Ross, and we're taping today for our program, Long Beach Memories, and it will be on June 7th at 2 p.m. So come join us on Zoom. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Eileen.
morning. Thank you for having me in your home. I appreciate that, and the library, and we're preserving our history of Long Beach. And your home is on the National Register as of 2005, and you guys have done such an incredible job of restoring this home, and it's beyond amazing. So we are going to just take a very small tour, and I thank you for having me.
Very welcome.
And amazing. I can't imagine keeping this clean. lots of work. I know you have your puppy outside. Maybe we'll say hi to him later. I can't thank you enough for joining me, and thank you again.
And again, you're very welcome.
Appreciate it. And we will see on the slideshow when I present it on the Tuesday, the pictures of before and after.
Okay.
I'm sorry for being late and holding up the viewers.
I love when you walk in and you see the fireplace. It's just so cozy. I could just stay there all day and just sit there.
I could serve tea.
Ah,
Marty, seriously, how many housekeepers do you have? 55?
None.
none.
It's-
Oh,
It's her and
Nobody.
Richie. They're four
Me,
hands.
Richie and the spirits.
So now this is the wraparound porch that,
Beautiful.
Was enclosed, probably in the early teens.
and
That
they
used to-
actually now turned it into a beautiful bar with a great register and a picture of Jack Dempsey and his daughter and a fan that was owned by him.
Carried it around with him, so I've been told.
And of course, original stained glass from the house, and such a beautiful, beautiful home. I had-
Eileen, the only thing you didn't get in that shot was the slot machine.
Ugh.
Wow. Wow. Martha, you deserve an award for just,
I'm telling you.
Oh,
You should
thank you
just-
so much.
You should have an award. This is incredible. Thank you, Marty and Richard. This is wow.
yes, extraordinary. It's a masterpiece. It's an absolute masterpiece.
Thank
What a-
you.
That's
And I
the
want
end
to
of the
thank
video.
Eileen for picking the house to do this. And of course, I go back to Joe because he knew what I wanted. So I always thank Joe.
And I have to close with this because from my heart, this is home sweet home with all our love, Martha, Richard, and family.
Beautiful.
Well, everybody, thank you so much.
Let me just stop the share and we could chat a little bit. So I had to say that. I was like, I mean, how do you keep that? It's like so much work. It's incredible. I love it. I truly, truly love it.
Really, I try to do most of my work in the winter on the inside, because once
Right.
the spring comes, I like being outside.
Outside, right?
You
do it in
still
the
have
garden.
to, you zoom around and you dust and you clean and you don't even think you're doing it because I'm playing with all my toys in there. So that makes it fun.
Well, yes, that's true.
You
We
know?
all have those. We all have those toys.
Yeah,
But yes, and Richard and you both do the gardening, correct?
yes, we do. Not
Wow.
cut the lawn. We have somebody cutting the lawn,
Right.
but
all
the
the other
garden
stuff.
beds and everything, we do them.
Yeah, that's great. And I saw you had vegetables on the porch. Did you get a chance to put them in yet?
They're planted. Yes, they are, and they're growing.
That's
They're
great.
starting to grow already.
Wow. Does anyone have any questions for Marty and Richard Ross?
Thank you for such a gift to bring to Long Beach and to have such a masterpiece, both on the outside and on the inside. It's
Yeah.
just what a wonderful presentation this is.
Thank you,
Very
Louis.
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone.
I'm
So,
waiting for my, yes,
yes, go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
I'm waiting for my tea and crumpets. You know,
Yes.
now that COVID's it's almost over. And that was amazing.
Speaking of tea and crumpets, my husband is a Brit and he's here with me. And this is quite a welcome to Long Beach. We are on West Olive temporarily. And this is just so exciting to find out that you do these and that people are opening up their homes for viewing like this. This is fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. I had two people
Yeah.
here, two young ladies. They were my daughter's sister-in-law's husband's mother from England and her girlfriend. So it was Elizabeth and Vivian. And they came over one afternoon right before they were leaving, and we had tea in the living room by the fireplace. And
That is
they
so
just
cool.
loved it.
Loved it. Yeah. It takes you back. I mean, this is when you walk into your house, it's like going back 100 years.
Right, exactly.
It is. It's like incredible. I mean, when you come into my house, you think you're in a ship, but in your house, you go
Well,
back.
it's true.
You go back 100 years. It is so cool.
My name is Adrian Drapkin. I'm originally was born in Manchester, just in the end of the Second World War. My father was in the Royal Air Force, and my father was in the dental equipment business and moved to London about 1952, 52, 54. And then I went to one of England's very famous public schools, which was a boarding school. And we're now, of course, looking forward to participating over here. And oddly enough, my grandmother, Mrs. Heald, who lived with us in London, she was a milliner just on the outskirts of Manchester. Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and she did hats and all sorts of things
Right.
before she sort of retired. But
yeah, but the Hickson company is very extraordinary because I think their hat became very famous from, I think, is it Miss Marple?
Yeah.
You know, that hat, that style. I think that was one of their designs.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So we're going back to the past to preserve it and to, keep it alive. And it's just, as I said, you got to go back and look at some of the other programs because the one I just did last month was beyond incredible. Of course, that house is no longer here. And Joe knows all the real estate that has been knocked down. It's crazy. So we have to preserve. And our programs are trying to be a way of doing that. So I thank you all again for coming today. In July and August, I don't do programs. This year, I am actually, because COVID is not over, but I'm going to be doing my first in-person program in July, that first Tuesday at the library at 2:00. And I am going to be showing you how to use the library's website tools to look at the local history collection and our videos, and to look at our oral history collection. So that'll be my July program. And then my August program is going into family history, and basically how I do research on family history. And the way I showed you today about the Felix family, that's what I do. I love research, and being able to tie that in to the house, it gives it life. Like you said, there was, what did you say? There were ghosts living in your house?
Spirits, yeah.
Spirits, there you go.
Really?
And definitely so. I can see that.
No, you experience spirits in the house?
Yes.
In what form, if I may ask, what kind of?
Footsteps, doors opening and closing. You'll see like a shadow move quickly past your peripheral vision, but the only way they're going is right into a wall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to write a book.
Yeah.
I should. Marty. Keeping there, diary of everything, a daily one.
That is an extra of enchantment to the whole thing. That's incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you write a book about what we're doing right now, from the beginnings till now, and then all of your stories, this would be a great book.
Yeah, even my grandchildren, they're like, no. Like my younger granddaughters, now they're away in college, but they saw the spirits. They saw them. They were talking to a lady in the dining room, and somebody once questioned my granddaughter and said, what kind of shoes did she have on? And she said, no, there's no feet or anything. They're just floating right there.
Wow.
So it was like, yeah. And then on the screen of a security camera, I was calling them down for lunch one day and they didn't answer me. So when I went upstairs, I said, oh, you're going to be sorry. You made grandma come up the stairs. And when I got up there, the door was open and they were staring at that screen. And my one granddaughter turned around. She said, Grandma, we're talking to the lady.
What lady did?
Oh, I said, well, you just tell the lady you have to go eat your lunch now.
Have you ever thought of hiring a medium so to perhaps get names of the people?
No, I know people have asked, but I wouldn't want to do that because things are so peaceful and happy in the house. That why would you disturb anything or upset the apple cart? It wouldn't be good.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. Beautiful. Again, thank you, Marty. Richard, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much, Eileen. And thank you everybody who joined in.
And Joe, thanks for finding the house.
I gotta say that, I'm so happy because I was hired by the city and they gave me 100 of these mansions to look at, and about 30 of them were torn down. And Marty's just excelled. So I'm happy that she survived. And the ones that didn't survive, I get upset with, but there's so many besides Marty. And going down West Penn, in one of the mansions, similar to Marty's, they said, they wrote God Bless America in one of the mansions. So I just stood in the mansion for like a minute because I heard the story and it was from 1900, but it's so much great history. And this is just the opener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when Eileen does a program, you're going to see how much history in Long Beach.
Going to keep going. So my 2 programs for the summer. And then in September, I will be back also in person because that the city of Long Beach now, which is not a village anymore since 1922, it's been 100 years. Because of the centennial, I created a program inviting Joanna Belli because she is my go-to for the Historical Society. She's going to be doing a program on Senator William H. Reynolds. We've invited, Doug Shearer had introduced me to a gentleman who's going to be playing Senator Reynolds, and we're going to be doing a meet and greet and a Roaring 20s type theme. So come on down to the library on Saturday, September 17th at 2 p.m. And we're going to have a party, and we're going to get to know about Long Beach and how it came to be from Senator Reynolds.
Oh,
And
wow.
he's there
Great.
himself. Then in October, maybe I'll do my program. Everybody, have a blessed day, everybody. Thank you for coming. And I'll see you in July if you come to the library. I'm always
Okay.
there, so you can always call me. You can always ask. I'm always there.
Great.
Right.
Thank
Okay,
you,
guys.
thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.